Hello and welcome to the weather report for the week of November 5th, 2023. And today was a pretty junky day and hazy to bad air quality. I think we've had some smoke in the air today. You can see this is what it looked like. A lot of clouds around as well. Before we talk about today, let's talk about yesterday. Yesterday, Saturday the 4th. And this is what the highs were yesterday. On the 4th, you could see 61. There was nice, no rain. We did have a lot of clouds around, though. And yeah, we did have a lot of clouds around as well. So that was not too nice. Have all those clouds around. But hey, it's what it is. Kind of at least we didn't have any rain. We didn't have clear skies. You can see lows, highs in the mid 60s there. And if we go over here. The lows still got pretty chilly Saturday morning, 32 in West Hampton, low 40s pretty much everywhere else. Some of the 30s, though, 37 at Islip. Look at that, 27 at Miller Air Park. So let's go to today's weather, and you'll see 46 degrees at Islip, 41, and it was a warm day today. We'll go highs and lows today. Highs were in the mid 60s. Across Long Island, so mid-60s, you can actually leave the jacket at home. And look at that, near 70 in Jersey, in Ocean County. Let's go to the lows. And lows, look at that. Still got down to 30 at Miller Air Park. That's amazing. 30s also in many parts of New Jersey, but for Long Island, we had mid-40s. There's a 34 at West Hampton and a 39 at Brookhaven Airport in Shirley, and 41 at Islip. So still got pretty chilly at night. But during the day, pretty warm out. So let's look at our, what do we have? Geomagnetic storm warning. What is this? So we have Geomagnetic Storm Prediction Center. This is kind of interesting. So when could we possibly see an aurora, perhaps? That's kind of interesting. Let's see. It says National Space. Let's see. Let's go to the space where the Prediction Center will go to this. So let's see. That's their Facebook. So are now in the forecast. So there may be glancing blows at least. So as soon as later on 4 possibly. Oh no, I think we missed this. I don't know. But anyway, I'm more to talk about the regular weather, not so much space weather. But let's look at our climate statistics for the day. And we'll go to Islip. Our high was 65. Our low was 41. Our high was 8 degrees above normal. Our low, 41, was at normal. It still puts us 4 degrees above normal for the day. If we go back to yesterday, the high of 60 was 2 degrees above normal. The low of 38 was 3 degrees below normal. So we're right at normal for the day. So let's go to the Weather Prediction Center and look at what we got going on. So you can see high pressure is over us, so we have dry weather, but you can see there are some fronts around, weak fronts, so it's causing all the cloudiness, and we even had some haze around. So let's talk about that haze again. Here's the satellite imaging, kind of running this through here a little bit. You can sort of see some hot clouds. There were more clouds earlier on in the day. Let's go to the MODIS. This will be more useful, I think. So you can see here we got these stratocumulus clouds around me, some altocumulus, some cirrus, and you can see, yeah, that's smoke. I don't know where that came from, but it might have come from here. We got wildfires burning in Virginia and Shenandoah National Forest right here. So there's a wildfire right. Yeah, I know it's November. There's even a few wildfires in West Virginia. Look at all these wildfires in Kentucky. It's actually been very dry in this area, so they haven't had the rain that we've had, and therefore wildfires. So dealing with wildfire smoke again. I guess we're going to have to whip out the smoke model. Believe it or not. I know. Shouldn't in November, but hey, this is what it is when you're dealing with the climate crisis. So we will look at that later. So let's go look at our overall pattern that we're going to have coming up as we head into the month of November. Looking at the 18Z GFS. And let's go to the... let's use the 12Z. Well, I want to use the 12Z run on this, all right? So let's go look at the, we can compare the 12Z and the 18Z, I guess, but I'd rather use the 12Z because it tends to be a little more stable. So you can see here kind of a zonal flow across the area. So that's going to kind of keep the keep us with the clouds, unfortunately. But at least we won't deal with rain until we get to Friday, Thursday or Friday. That's when this storm system will move through with a cold front and then bring us some cooler weather for the weekend. We can see no really big, deep troughs in the east at all until we get to the very end of the period. Of course, the jet stream remains kind of a mess. Looking at the European model, we'll pick the 12Z European as well with this. Pretty similar look here. Though the European does have a little more of another trough for next week. A little stronger with that trough for next week. All right. Back to the GFS. You can see GFS kind of flat at that time. So there is a difference there. So let's go look at the 500 MB height anomaly. Again, start looking at the GFS. And you'll see here, you see again that the zonal flow, a little bit of a trough there. It'll bring a little bit of cooler day for Wednesday. And then another trough for the weekend and bring more cooler weather. And then there's a ridge in the middle of the country there. And you can see another tropical system developing too. Crazy. But then we have more ridging as we get toward another weekend there. And then, yeah, a lot of big ridging going on, which is the problem here. Now, if we look at the European is a troughier. You can see that. But it is also showing a ridge as we get toward that, it's going to be another warm-up again, it looks like, in the east. I mean, we're in the midst of already a warm-up. It's ridiculous. So let's go to the CONUS view, and we'll look at the surface. And being that we're on the Euro, we'll look at the Euro first. So you'll see there is a low area of low pressure that goes off to our north. We're not going to... It could bring a slight chance for a shower overnight, Monday night to Tuesday morning. Other than that, it's dry. A high pressure tries to nose down from eastern Canada, so it'll bring us cooler conditions on Wednesday. And then we'll have some more chances for rain on Thursday, perhaps. And then another chance on Friday with another cold front. And then you can see that high is going to try to build down there from... you can see the Euro keeps kind of further to the north. So again, we're on the southern periphery of it. GFS, again, we'll go to the 12Z GFS here on the surface here, so you can see what's going to happen. It's in pretty much an agreement here. Got that, it's like a banana high almost that comes in, and then luckily you see the 12Z suppresses that rain to the south, so it doesn't look like we're going to see all that much rain this week. And then high pressure builds in. Hopefully it gets some rain over Virginia at least, because they got that fire there. High pressure builds in. We should have another dry weekend next weekend, Veterans Day weekend, and that continues into next week. And then you'll see this looks like a significantly much colder air mass, and it's also got something forming over here. This is like way in the long range, and if we go to the 18Z, you'll see it looks a little different. It looks completely different. So you can't go that far out. There's just too much volatility involved. So next thing we'll do is look at the temperature anomaly. So here's your temperature anomaly for this week, and you'll see tomorrow we will be a little bit above normal, not as much as we were today. It'll be a little cooler tomorrow, but then we warm up a lot on Tuesday. With the westerly flow, and then we'll have that cool down for Wednesday, and then as we head into Thursday, warming back up again for another front comes in on Friday, and the weekend should be normal to below normal. You can see there's a lot of warmth in the Midwest and the West. Looking at this, and then as we get toward the end of the period, everybody's above normal. It doesn't look good at all. Go to the European. Again, we'll go to the 12Z here, the European. So here's the European. And you can see that cool down for Wednesday, and then it warms up again, and then cools down a little bit for the weekend. But the European is showing colder, much colder for next week versus the GFS. So in some cases, now I'm rooting for the European. The European has been right in some ways, and there's been some... Usually what will wind up happening is there's some kind of compromise between the two in the end. That what's going to happen next week, but hopefully we get it cool down, because this warm weather is ridiculous, man. To mention that, the bad air quality, too. Who wants to deal with that? So now that we looked at all that stuff, let's go and talk more about the local area here. And we'll go to the HRRR. The 0Z run of the HRRR. Remember, we are in Daylight Standard Time. Or there's a Daylight Eastern Standard Time, not Daylight Standard Time, but Eastern Standard Time, not Eastern Daylight Time. So the model's coming sooner now. That's the good news about that. And you'll see here, tomorrow dry. You see there's that chance. It's like a cold front coming through. All right, you can see it could bring a chance for possible shower in the middle of the night. Other than that, you could see the winds go west and then northwest as we get into Wednesday. It's as far as the HRRR goes out. I'd rather actually look at the GFS coming forward because I think that's going to be a better representation of things. So let's go to the dew point. Let's go to the dew points and wind flow to show you where the fronts are and everything like that. So as we head into tomorrow, you'll see the winds are becoming northerly again. That's going to bring in cooler air. They're going to become northeasterly. And then as we go into Tuesday, you'll see the winds go westerly, and that's going to be your warm day there. Tuesday is going to be pretty warm. And then as we get to Wednesday, you see behind that cold front, actually, look at how dry those dew points get, pretty low. So it's going to be a much chillier air mass for Wednesday, but it's temporary. And then once you get to Thursday, here we go again with the southwest winds bringing more warmth. And then as we get toward the weekend, we'll get another shot of that cooler air coming in with the northwest winds as we get into the weekend there. And you can see there's next week it doesn't look like these air masses are that cold. But again, if we go to the European model and we go look at the 12s, European doesn't show us dew points. Turn it. All right, back to the GFS, I guess. All right. Temperatures. We can probably toggle between that next week just to show you the differences. So as in tomorrow, you'll see it will be cooler, 50s, mid to upper 50s. Definitely cooler. Not really dropping off too much at night. And then Tuesday is where it's really going to warm up. And you'll see here temperatures in the upper 60s until maybe even 70. Let's just look at the HRRR here for a moment with this. I'll move the HRRR over there as well. Get a chance. So you can see how warm it's going to get. Yeah, it could be close to 70 with that west wind on Tuesday. It's going to be pretty warm. You see this cold front coming, and then it drops the temperatures down. By Wednesday morning, we're around 40 degrees. And then for Wednesday, we're struggling to reach 50. It's going to be much, much colder. And then as we head into Thursday, the temperatures bounce back up again. Jersey could be in the 70s. And again, that's when we have that chance of rain with the front in the vicinity. Friday, you can see we're dropped into the mid to upper 50s. And then for the weekend, generally mid-50s and maybe even colder on Sunday. Here's Monday. So it will be colder, and then it warms up again. But you see next week doesn't look all that cold according to this. But if we flip this over now to the European model, all right, we have to kind of go to the 12Z to go that far out. But if we flip it over there, you'll see the European's a lot colder. A lot colder. Only in the 40s perhaps Tuesday and Wednesday. So that's something to keep in mind. So let's go now back to GFS and we'll talk cloud cover as we head into tomorrow. And before I actually show you we're going to actually just use this thing here, which is the sounding, to show you that these lines are pretty close to each other. So I think we're going to have a lot of clouds around tomorrow, just like today, unfortunately. No clear skies. Tuesday, where it's warm, it's still going to have a mid and high overcast. Probably a lot of clouds there. I'm hoping maybe Wednesday we could push some of these clouds to the south. But you see, they're touching around 400, so there could be some upper level moisture. This only goes to 18Z, and the problem is I'll have to use the 12Z if I want to go a little bit. You can see we're kind of touching at 900 there, so that's the problem for cloud cover. All right, so I'm kind of using this to kind of gauge the cloud cover here. We can look at the HRRR as well for tomorrow, and then we'll look at the actual cloud cover map, because this kind of gives us more. So let's go middle of the day here. So this is tomorrow, and you'll see tick-tock here. See those lines are pretty close to each other, so a lot of moisture in the atmosphere. and upper levels. You can see that. So I don't think we're going to have a clear sky tomorrow. Now going into Tuesday, it only takes us so far out, I think. If I go this far, let's see if we can get it. If we go to Tuesday, yeah, you see how close those lines are. So you want to have those lines more spread apart. There is dry air at 700. But you can see there's definitely moisture at the mid-levels. Just the problem that we're going to have. So let's go back to GFS and we'll look at the sky on this. So you can see high and mid-level clouds tomorrow. Same deal for Tuesday. I'm hoping Wednesday we might be able to push them away. All right. This is the GFS, and then Thursday, Friday, you can see we have to wait until Saturday. That looks like our next really nice day, Saturday, and then maybe into Sunday, and then as we get into next week, maybe some better luck. But let's go now to the RGEM, and not the 0Z RGEM. Don't have enough of that in. We have to use the 18Z for that. So here's the clouds, and again, you see those clouds tomorrow. High clouds in and out of the high mid-level clouds. And who knows? We'll have to go look at the smoke model. Same thing for Tuesday. Now, Wednesday, hopefully, we can keep these clouds away, this plume of moisture, and have a clear sky, hopefully, behind that. So that would be our hope right now. So let's go to the let's go to a few more. Oh, yeah, those are the only models I'm going to use for skies right now. So let's go to the smoke model. Yeah, I know. I can't believe we're bringing the smoke model back out again, but we are because didn't I click it? All right. Let's bring it out. Let's look at the 0Z smoke model here. This doesn't only goes out. Oh, which is the long one now? I think it's 821Z. Yeah. All right. So let's do the vertically integrated smoke. I can't believe we're using this model still, but we still got some smoke around. We had some smoke around today. You can see there's a little bit of smoke around. You can see that. This goes up to the 7th, so this is Tuesday here. We're looking at Tuesday. And then, yeah, that's as far as we got. So we got, and then we could do near-surface smoke, too, or pick up on those fires that are going on in Virginia there, and some of the other areas. Because if your airflow is coming from that area, like it will be on Tuesday, could be some smoke. And there's another model I can use as well, the HRRR. It's not really showing too much, but let's go to the HRRR one. That's the American one. Being that these fires are in the United States more than Canada, well, let's see the 0Z HRRR one. Vertically integrated smoke. Yeah. Load. This one can take a while. I remember it's a little slow. Yeah, there is some smoke out there. You can definitely see there's some. Definitely is some. It's not thick, but there's definitely some out there. It's noticeable. It was noticeable today, I can tell you that. It seems like it'll get better as we get later into Tuesday into Wednesday. So, lastly, we go to the Climate Prediction Center. And, yeah, here we go. This is not what you want to see. Above normal for almost the entire country on the 6 to, and that's the 8 to 14 day. All right, let's go to the 6 to 10 day first. So we have a little bit below normal in the Northeast, above normal in the Midwest, well below normal precipitation in the Great Lakes and northern tier of the country. So we're not really going to see much rain, which is not going to be good for that. Now we don't have a problem with that, but there's going to be a problem in Virginia where those fires are going. 8 to 14 day, look at that, just roasting in the northern tier, Great Lakes, all the way to almost the whole country except for the West Coast. And then precipitation above normal for the west coast, southwest, and then the northeast is staying dry. So at least we won't have to deal with any rainy days. But as far as any really big cold blasts, it just doesn't look very optimistic, which kind of sucks for those of us who look forward to winter. But we all know that we don't always get winter every year now. This is the way things are as we deal with climate crisis. So that is, and it's only going to get worse. It's only going to get worse. So that's it. Thank you for watching. Have a good night.